So there are two ways in which I can motivate my son. One is that I can tell him that, you know what, I'll be after his life. I'll keep on saying that, you know what, do this, do Y, do Z, and do all these things. And the second method is that I can show him that, you know what, your dad was extremely consistent in terms of posting on YouTube, etc. So he undertook a lot of hard work. So probably you should also work hard. Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today's video is super special because it is the 1 million subscriber video. So first and foremost, a deep thank you for all of you. I cannot believe that it has just been a year that I started my journey on YouTube and we have been able to hit 1 million mark. Deeply appreciate. Both me and my family are deeply humbled and we really thank you from the bottom of our heart. On that note, a very interesting anecdote from today morning. So I am currently in a hotel and I was having breakfast and one of my subscribers came to me that Akshat, I have been looking at you having breakfast for 30 minutes and now I could muster up the courage to walk to you and ask for a selfie. So I told him that, hey, first and foremost, I am not like Alia Bhatt or some celebrity. So please come to me anytime. More than happy taking a selfie. In fact, I will take a selfie with you. Important message is that if you see me roaming around on some road or at some restaurant or anywhere, please come sit with me. I'll be happy to speak to you. I will personally take selfie. It will go in my collection. So thank you so much. And on that note, let us start the video. And basically today, I just want to have a brief conversation with all of you about my YouTube journey. What were some of the critical lessons? How much money do I make from YouTube? What have I learned in this journey? And how you can start your YouTube journey in case you are interested in this field. Also, what are my future plans? There is a very interesting surprise at the end, which I'll make announcements on today's video. So please stay tuned. A big shout out to our knowledge partners for today, which is Navi. I absolutely love the brand. You might have seen me make a lot of investments in index funds. I'm a big proponent of index fund investing, especially for people who are getting started on the stock market or during extremely volatile times when the index is being managed. So do check some of my favorite funds from Navi in the description box and let us kickstart the video. So first and foremost, how much money do I make from YouTube? So right now I have roughly 1 million subscribers and I make roughly 8 to 12 lakh rupees from YouTube. So this is our normal ratio that is exhibited by majority of YouTubers who have a following of roughly 1 million followers. Now you might ask that all YouTubers with a following of 1 million make like 8 to 12 lakh rupees because it sounds a lot. The short answer is no. It depends on what type of content you are making, what is your niche. For example, when we talk about stock markets, finance, the niche is slightly more lucrative. On the flip side, if you are making travel related content, then probably that niche does not pay out well. Honestly, I don't know. I have not done much analytics on YouTube per se. Important message that I want to give out here is that I'm disclosing these numbers in the interest of transparency. That's a point B. I'm not trying to start a race that, you know what, tomorrow go start your YouTube channel, you will become like crazy rich. That is not the objective here at all. There are a lot of challenges associated with running a YouTube channel. For example, you have to script it out. You have to edit the videos. You have to have a team that can coordinate. For example, in my YouTube team, there are 2 full-time employees and there are editors who edit the video. So it's a lot of expense also. Yes, it looks like 8 to 12 lakh rupees, crazy amount of money. And maybe it is, but there are a lot of expenses that go within it. A related point here is that you need to understand the set of challenges, which brings me to the next point that, okay, if we are starting our YouTube journey, should we start it? Should we not start it? So let me paint a very honest pro and con analysis of being a content creator per se. So first and foremost, the major pro of being on YouTube is that, you know, fame, etc., money, etc. If you love it, great. Please do it. But please don't get on YouTube to make money or get quick fame. You will be deeply disappointed, which brings me to the con part of the equation. And I see 3 major cons in terms of being a content creator. So first and foremost con is that the journey initially is very painful. It's a very alone journey. When you shoot videos, you're just talking to yourself, putting a camera in front of you. It will feel unnatural. You will post the video, you will not get likes, comments, hits, whatnot, and you will feel dejected, right? Continuing to do it, it's very difficult to do, no doubt about that. And many a times people are on the wrong path altogether in terms of starting their YouTube. They started for wrong reasons. Maybe the content is not good, or maybe there can be 100 different problems. I'm not saying it to demotivate you. Please, if you want to start your YouTube journey, keep at it. Your content will improve with time. But the reality is that improving content takes a lot of time, effort, energy, and there is no substantial reward that you get for a substantial period of time. For example, even some of the biggest YouTubers today, when they started out their YouTube channel, it got monetized very late. They did not make a lot of money for years, right? So if you undertake that amount of pain, then getting on YouTube might make sense. Which brings me to the second point, that this space is getting crazy competitive. because the barriers to entry on content creation is literally zero. All you need is an internet connection and some basic equipments and you can become a content creator. So from that viewpoint, there is an explosion of the number of creators who have entered this space, and it is getting harder and harder to monetize, especially when you're starting right. So that is a point that you need to keep in mind. Again, not saying it to dissuade you from starting your YouTube journey, but you should be aware of these facts so that you can take a more calculated risk here. So I see many people quitting jobs to start their YouTube without having any financial backing. That might not be the right move, right? It really depends from person to person, but please keep this perspective in mind that the competitive landscape has exploded over the last couple of years, and monetizing your content is becoming harder and harder with time. Just to give you some estimate, if you're not in the top 5% of content creators, I don't think that you will be making any money. Forget about making money. You might not even make like one single rupee, and it is very disheartening to see that happen because a lot of time, effort, energy will go into shooting videos and putting content out. So it will be very disheartening. So please be aware of it. Again, I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm just trying to tell you practical realities so that you are aware and make a more informed. Now, third and final point around being a content creator is that the journey is extremely unpredictable. For example, I'm contemplating the idea. So the word of the day today is contemplating. So I'm contemplating the idea of starting a Hindi channel. So when I start that Hindi channel, I don't know if it will become successful or not. And there are 1,000 different unpredictable things that can go off. And many a times what happens is that you are posting some kind of content. For example, I tend to put long form content, and many a times algorithm only promotes short form content. So all these algorithmic changes happen with social media platforms. So therefore, the entire journey is hyper unpredictable. So please keep that basic viewpoint in mind. So please build a secondary career base, because with all the limelight, with all the good things that social media stars paint, yeah, the journey is very, very unpredictable. You can't really plan for success on YouTube. That is the key message that I want to give. But yes, some of the key things that help is that, hey, if you are consistent, if you are hardworking, if you truly enjoy the content that you are shooting and you find reason to make your content to be meaningful, then your odds of success on YouTube will go up quite dramatically. One of the key reasons why I started shooting content on YouTube is very simple, that I want to motivate my son. So there are two ways in which I can motivate my son. One is that I can tell him that, you know what, I'll be after his life. I'll keep on saying that, you know what, do this, do Y, do Z, and do all these things. And the second method is that I can show him that, you know what, your dad was extremely consistent in terms of posting on YouTube, etc. So he undertook a lot of hard work. So probably you should also work hard. And hard work is one quality that I would want my son Zain to imbibe. And that is one key push from my side. And if I can't be consistent and hardworking, then I cannot expect my son to be hardworking. And YouTube acts as a proof of me being hardworking. So that is how I see my YouTube journey, that researching, putting up good content. And an associated reason is that I would want Zain to learn economics, finance right from a very young age, because I feel that half of the problems in the world are money related and other half are health related. So if you're good on both these areas, then you will have a much more fulfilling life. So it is important to teach kids about finance. More about this on the announcement that I'm going to make. But let's move on to the next point. Now comes the next question, and rather a comment that a lot of people make, that Akshat, you post videos daily to make money from YouTube. Okay, so let me give you very quick insights there. That posting content daily on YouTube is not a good idea, especially the long form content that I do. In fact, you would have seen several prominent YouTubers in the teaching space, they don't post content on a daily basis. So the algorithm works in such a way for videos where watch time is high. So my watch time is usually quite high. So for me, the usual strategy should have been that I post videos every 2 to 3 days. So that way, each of my videos will gain more views also, and I will get more subscribers also. But why do I post content regularly? Because I want to create like a community. I'm not into optimizing my subscriber count and all that stuff. So that is not the goal at all. So I enjoy speaking with all of you. I shoot my own content also. I do not have a research team. Every single tweet, every single LinkedIn post, every single community post, every single YouTube video is research that I have done. Yes, at the back end, people can make it like nice looking, etc. But 99% content comes directly from me. But now comes a very important question, that if I were not on YouTube, would I be making good amount of money still? So there are 2 points that I would like to tell here. So first and foremost, I graduated from INSEAD. I worked at good places. I was already earning good good amount of money even before venturing into YouTube per se. So that is point one. And if I would have stayed in my career path in consulting in Singapore, I would have made a lot of money, more than what I'm making through my YouTube income. So that is point one. And a related point is that YouTube is just a subset of all my incomes. My other incomes are more substantial compared to my YouTube income. Now a related question might come that Akshat, what do you plan on doing with money, etc., etc. So I will use it for good purposes. Please give me some time. I'll disclose all of that. But I hope you get the message that YouTube is good for money making, no doubt about that. Journey is difficult, no doubt about that. But there are other options at play also which can give you substantial returns. In case you want to learn more about my income sources, I had done a separate video. You can go watch it. I have explained about my different income streams. So now comes the final two sections, that what are some of the prominent tips and strategies that I will share with you that have worked for me and that might also work for you in case you are starting your content creation journey. So the first thing is that if you truly enjoy your content, that is a blessing. You would enjoy working hard alone, putting content, even if no one is watching. You're putting content for the fun of putting content. If you get to that point, then yeah, this journey is for you. That's a very basic test that I would ask you to undertake very, very honestly with you. So this is point one, and that's a strategy that has worked for me. My second key strategy would be to put out thoughtful, interesting content that you feel proud of watching. So this is the second key point that I would like to talk about. Third is that please develop some kind of area or expertise. If you do not know much, and for every video you have to undertake like crazy amount of research, you only have limited time in a day. That will bog you down and that will drain a lot of your energy. So you must be fluent on the topic of interest that you are making content on. Fourth and finally, you need to have a thick skin if you're on social media. This is something that bothers me. You might have seen me reading all the comments, responding to some people when they give like negative comments, explaining my stand on things, and I'm still doing it. Then people stop me that Akshat, you don't need to put out all these explanations. It's not as if that I'm thin-skinned, so to say. I am thick-skinned, but I want people to understand some logic, some sense on things. So sometimes I can get emotionally attached to the content that I'm putting out. A classic case in point is the entire inflation debate. I genuinely feel that if people truly understood what is happening with the economy and how the dollar has been deflated over the last several decades. So just to give you an example, dollar has lost almost 97% of its value in the last 100 years. INR has deflated in terms of dollars. So here there is a race going on in different fiat currencies and they are getting devalued compared to each other. And we are thinking that, all fiat currencies are great. This is a macroeconomic issue. It is such a pertinent, such an important topic. When I try to explain about it, people take it as criticizing the government. People take it as something else. So I get very emotionally attached to these type of problems. Let me give you another example here. For example, when 2020 COVID crisis broke, a lot of people who were on the verge of retiring, they would have created a corpus of 2 crore rupee thinking that, we are going to enjoy our sunset years. Then what did the governments do? They decreased the FD rates from, let's say, 6.5% to 5.5%. You would say that, okay, 1% hi to kam kiya hai, right? I mean, what is the big deal? They have just cut the interest rate by 1%. But look at the income difference. Getting almost 13-14 lakhs vis-a-vis getting 12 lakh is a percentage change of 14% in a high inflation environment. So the point is that all these little things create such a massive impact on people, and I want to bring those things out. Sometimes it might appear that I'm criticizing one political party. No, that is not the point. So please understand the flow that politics dictates economics. Economics dictates finance. Finance dictates your taxes and all the related things, your salary, etc. And of course, you need to have like a mitigation strategy, understand what the problem is. So these problems are created from so many folds. So I keep on researching it and I will keep on shooting this type of content. So please don't worry about it. But the important message that I want to give out is that on social media, no matter what you are posting, if you are expressing your views, so there will be always 10% people who will disagree with you, but ignore the hate, but just love the love that you are getting from people. So this brings me to the final section, that what is it that I'm going to do in the future, where my focus is, what is it that I want to achieve from this point. Okay, so a few basic points. So first and foremost, I want to launch finance-based story courses for kids. So these would be for the young ones. I will be offering this for free, absolutely free, no charges, nothing. I'm going to get it translated into different languages, and I'm going to distribute this entire content for free. So this is the first exciting idea that I'm pursuing. I have no intent of making money from it. Now over to personal goals. That what are my personal goals? So my personal goal is fairly simple. Number one, to get fitter. I don't want to build six-pack abs, but I definitely want to get fitter with time. So that is the first key area where I'm focusing on. Second key area, I love to travel. So I'm going to explore more of those options. I'm actually going to Hill Station in another couple of days. So super excited about that trip. If you see me there, please come, say hi. I will take a selfie with you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much, and I will see you the next time.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.